G'day guys. Somebody asked me a question about varicose veins. I sort of looked into it, tried to see, is there anything really in the literature? All I found is a whole lot of contradictions. I couldn't actually find anything really, any research at the NIH or the FDA or any sort of, I actually did find one thing, but I'll get to that soon. I was looking just right through and all that. Obviously, there was a lot about certain vascularity, certain types of, nitric oxide, and a whole lot of things. And there were contradictory stuff where one case it seemed that, in animal models, arginine seemed to have some sort of effect, and others not really. Others, things that seemed to, like there was a pathology in, and it did relate a lot of the actual, this sort of type of, what is it called, VEFV factor, the sort of growth factor, endothelial growth type factor. And it seemed to have some relationship, but it wasn't very clear. It seems like a lot of research was saying there's an association relationship with nitric oxide. And then there were other people anecdotally saying, well, it doesn't really, I've tried L-citrulline, L-arginine, doesn't really work. Some people claim that there are some improvements, others claim that they actually get worse, but they are cyclists. And there is a doctor that I found that said actually cycling and swimming actually can make it worse because of the more oxidative stress, especially if you're doing like really fast. We're just walking compared to standing, that actually exacerbates the issue as well. Walking seems to basically improve it, which is basically you get a more milder form of like nitric oxide effect, plus you're not putting as much oxidative stress or pressure or whatever. That seems to relieve and help. So walking is much better than many other activities, so to speak. So it is quite confusing. The literature is very all over the place. Most of the experiments are with different types of animals, which just, rabbits and go figure sort of thing. And they're literally focusing on some of the related endothelial conditions, and it's really just all over the place. I haven't really found anything credible, but I did come across something. And I'll just get into it. Let me just share my screen and you understand what I mean. So this is basically eHealthMe. They're actually doing a trial, phase 4 trial on taurine and varicose veins. A clinical study of the FDA, based on the FDA data, is what they're doing. So in summary, we study 881 people who take taurine or have varicose veins. No reports of varicose veins is found in people who take taurine. You heard it. They've actually found no people that take taurine. Now, this is an association. This does not mean it's a cure. I'm not claiming absolutely nothing here. All I'm saying is that obviously the artery stiffness, artery flexibility and all that is improved, and also in terms of reducing oxidative stress on the arteries and all that. We know that taurine helps in that department, has that antioxidant effect in the arteries. It's one reason why I took it for my cardiovascular disease in the past, to basically sort out endothelium and endothelial dysfunction. So what they've actually found is that out of the 881, obviously that is not a massive sample group. So, we need to keep that in mind. But what they found is that basically taurine seems to be not associated. At least we know that it's not associated. So it's not going to cause you any harm. So we're quite clear about that. The phase 4 clinical study is created by eHealthMe, which is this company based on the report from the FDA, and is uploaded regularly. So with MedBig data and AI algorithms, eHealthMe enables everyone to run phase 4 clinical trials to detect adverse drug outcomes, monitor effectiveness. Our original studies have been referred to referred on 600 plus peer-reviewed medical publications. They just talk about all the different, Lancet, Mayo Clinic, Nature, most recently Phase for clinical trials of C19 jabbers were added, and they've got a link here. But these people have been involved in a phase 4 with varicose veins, and what they've actually seen is there is no association, at least, between varicose veins and taurine. So basically, they found that but there is association between people who do not have varicose veins and take taurine. So, take it as you like. I'm not claiming anything, absolutely nothing here. I do not have, we've only got an association here of a small group. This is not, it's 881. And that's all where, this is not statistically significant. It's not like thousands and thousands of people. This is basically an observational reporting study, but it's interesting. I would say to people, give it a try. Take 4 grams of, remember always, I'll put up the link here about the potential issues with certain medication of taurine. But if you're not on those, you don't have to worry. You don't have to basically make any adjustments with your practitioner, your medical practitioner. So pretty much, all you need to do is consider 4 grams, maybe 6, I don't like people going much higher unless they go slowly, because it has sort of an effect on it's an osmolyte with your fluids, intra and extracellular fluids, which basically are part of the vascular tree. We're talking about basically your arteries and veins, and pretty much it seems to basically have these associations, very good associations amongst these people. So that's all I've got on this. Really, a lot of the other data is very confusing, very unclear, and there is no long-term studies that actually tell us anything. So there's a lot of medications to sort of for pain relief and other related issues, but we don't really have anything that really actually shows that it can actually eliminate the problem. And I'm not claiming that taurine can either, but it may actually reduce the severity of it. May not. No idea. Give it a try. I don't have varicose veins. I've never had them. My mother did, but she's not alive anymore, so I can't test it on her to validate that theory. But all I can say is that to people, give it a try. See if it works. If it works, fine. Doesn't work, and report back. Leave a comment. Once you've actually had a certain experience after a couple of months, obviously it will take a couple of months. Healing does not happen automatically. I would say give it a go for about 6 months. And if you see improvements, please report back, because a lot of N-of-1s are very helpful for other people to know whether a technique works or doesn't. So it's one of those odd things that I usually don't really get too much involved in because it's not my focus of the channel. But somebody did ask me, and I said, oh, I'll take a look, see what I can find. This is what I found. So anyway, we'll leave it at that. Thank you, and hope you enjoyed it.